And let me introduce our keynote speaker. He is an experienced designer with a 14-year history of working in the design industry. He's skilled in architectural interiors and architectural design. His work has attracted attention from both commercial and residential clients, as well as property developments and international businesses. He is about to be conferred the title of ASEAN Architect and is the first and the only ASEAN registered foreign architect, a graduate of Mapua University in 2005. He is very young. In fact, he just celebrated his birthday, I think 3 days ago, and he's only 35 years old. He became the first Filipino architect that was allowed by the Singapore's Board of Architecture to collaborate with a Singapore registered architect on project basis. From a minimalistic modern house in Singapore to a traditional classic apartment in Hong Kong, or to a tropical contemporary clubhouse in Indonesia, he has a range of design styles that is virtually unlimited. He has traveled and lived widely through Europe and Asia, and believes that design inspirations can be found everywhere, and that if one pays attention hard enough, one can come up with new ideas. He's married to Carmela Sanchez Felipe and has 2 children. Ladies and gentlemen, let us all welcome our youngest ever guest of honor, a young and progressive architect, Alvin Felipe. Let's ask all welcome.
Congratulations to all of you, the 2019 passers of the Architect Licensure Examinations. I'm honored to be here with you today to celebrate the oath-taking ceremony of our new architects. I was sitting there, right there I think, about 15 years ago, and all I had was fear. I did not know what to expect, and the future for me that time was uncertain. I was like you right now. My only regret was on the 3rd day, on my board examinations, the child in me could not resist. I chose to watch a movie about transforming robots. Now, did that move cost me the top place? I will never know. I was less than a half point away from being one of the top notchers at that time. I've even prepared a speech while waiting for the results to come out. Sadly, I did not make it at the top. But hey, here I am now. I've always wanted to live a great, impactful, and purposeful life by designing. When I just started, I wasn't blessed with a lot of things. I didn't come from an Ivy League school in the US or UK. I didn't have my apprenticeship with any of the internationally renowned architects. I can only dream. It was hard, it was tough, and scary. But I was hardworking, determined, and very passionate with my work. Back then, some clients would even say, "You're too young, not enough experience," or would even doubt me, which was discouraging. I was fortunate to be in a very competitive environment. With the experiences I've accumulated here and overseas, they have molded me to be who I am today an ASEAN architect, and the first registered foreign architect, or an RFA. Moving forward, a lot of people ask, what exactly is an RFA? A registered foreign architect refers to an ASEAN architect who successfully applied to or is authorized by the professional regulatory authority of the host country to work, either in independent practice or in collaboration with one or more licensed architects of the host country in accordance with the prevailing policy on practice in host nations of the UIA Accord. I won't go any deeper into it. Instead of telling you what it takes to be an RFA, I would like to tell you about something else, something in general, something that you can relate to. What does it take to be a good architect? Through my experience in collaborating and working with different cultures and nationalities, it has provided me with chances to learn various ways of thinking. At some point in your career, you too can have the same opportunities and be able to appreciate some of the good qualities of other nationalities, such as the resilience of the Thais, the thoughtfulness of Taiwanese, the compassionate qualities of Indonesians, the proudness of Hong Kongers, the resourcefulness of Chinese, the boldness of the French to explore new things, the attention to details of Italians, the remarkable discipline of Singaporeans, the unbreakable principles of the Japanese, and of course, they too will learn the warmness of us Filipinos. I believe no other country show their support of their own like we do. All this has always been a continuous learning, which makes this career so much fun. Not so long ago, I had a discussion with the president of the Board of Architects in Singapore, Architect Tan Xiao Yin. We share the same sentiments that architecture is no longer about aristocracy, where one should come from a wealthy family, but rather it is a profession that will always be driven by passion. Once your career takes off in an international setting, be there and start working. Everything is amplified. Work becomes harder, more complex, more challenging. But you must ask yourself, is this what you want? Because if you ask me, my answer will always be yes. There's nothing else I would rather do. We love architecture. Push the boundaries. The tools you've learned in school, you have those to develop yourselves. Meanwhile, work on how to develop other traits: leadership, perseverance, determination, work ethic, and discipline. To anyone who feels left out or afraid of trying their best for fear of failure or criticism, one day you'll look back at your life and appreciate the struggle and have nothing but gratitude for everything that happened along the way. Keep going. Architecture is the art and science of designing buildings. And to you I say this, I quote, "There's only one difference between art and science. In science, the universe is in control. In art, you are." Thank you.